defend yourself.
That I will, Cryomancer.
Round 1. Fight.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Cubus here. Today I've got for you a review of the latest installment in a very controversial series that's 23 years old already. Let's see if Mortal Kombat X is patched.
Do not trifle with me.
If you didn't live under a rock for the last quarter or century, you probably know what Mortal Kombat is. A fighting game series which is best known for the controversies around its extreme violence. And, as you can see in the background, it's no different this time around. But most players will tell you that it's not enough if the game is just shocking with its sexual or violent content. Remember Carmageddon or Postal? It's okay if the game is brutal, but if it's pointless and it isn't backed up with good gameplay, no one will care in the long run. I think that this would be a good topic for extra credits video, but let's get back to the review. As I said, a good fighting game needs to have good mechanics. They were absolutely fantastic in the previous game from 2011, and a lot of it was transferred here, but with some changes on the way. Fortunately, almost everything here is good. Characters are balanced and each of them have their strong and weak sides. Additionally, you can use elements of the environment in fight, either to get away from a tight spot or to throw something at your enemy. Another nice thing carried over from the previous game is the crypt. Basically, it's a place where for an in-game currency earned with each fight, you can unlock concept arts, additional outfits or moves shown on your move list. Another nice touch is that before a fight, there's a little conversation between the characters. And they aren't as simple as "you will suffer" or something like that, but they mention each other names or clans, so you can see that creators put a little effort in them. Last but not least, you can notice that NetherRealm is trying hard, making this game an esport material, because in a move list you have an information about how many frames in animation each move has. But there are also some things I didn't really like. First, there is a difficulty level on Test Your Might challenges. They are little button mashers and they are insane. Another thing is that there is no real matchmaking while playing online, so if you're not advanced or don't have friends to play with online, you'll get a lot of beating. There was also a little change in button mapping for move combinations, but that is rather cosmetic, so it may bother you only if you played the previous game a lot. But the biggest drawback for me is that developers decided to remove my favorite two-player mode from the previous game, which was a co-op tower mode. I really enjoyed it because it meant that two players with different skill level could enjoy the game together, but for a reason unknown, it's nowhere to be seen now. Just so I don't end this section on my complaints, I would like to mention one nice change. Every character now has a set of 3 different variants. Each of them has a set of special moves, available only on the specified variation, so it makes things more interesting and bring more diversification to the game. All in all, it really is quite good. Designers kept the old stuff, improved it where improvements were needed, and then added new things. This way they will keep happy both the fans of previous games and fans of changes. And for that I award Mortal Kombat X with 8 points out of 10 for its design. In terms of technicalities, this game is very decent, but it definitely isn't perfect. The most visible issue is the frame rate. When you play the game, it's rock solid 60 frames per second on PS4, and it's proven in many performance tests on the internet. Unfortunately, during X-rays, fatalities or pre-fight conversations, the frame rate is locked to 30 FPS. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate when the game runs very smooth at 60 FPS, but I don't mind a really solid 30 frames per second neither. The thing that bugs me is that you can see that transition and it really isn't a nice thing to look at. But these numbers are only valid while playing locally. During online matches I witnessed a few frame drops even during the fight, which normally is a rock solid 60 FPS. It wasn't a lag, but then again, it doesn't seem to be caused by the graphic engine. Another thing that seems a little out of place for me, but I must just be wrong here, is that I sometimes had a feeling that controls didn't work the way I intended. But as I am not certain of that, I'm just going to blame it on my skill and I won't deduct any points for that. But there are also good things here. For a start, the loading times are really quick. It literally takes only a few seconds for a match to load. One of the most impressive things in the previous game got transferred here and they look better than ever. I mean X-rays and fatalities, of course. To make them look the way they do, creators had to make the characters' models not only on the external side, but also to make separate models for their guts and skeletons. As I said, it's a really decent experience with only slight issues while playing online multiplayer. That said, I'm awarding this game 8 points out of 10 for technicalities. And here we come to probably the worst part of the game, its marketing side. You can feel how shameless the publisher is in charging you for extra content. For a start, there is a sort of microtransactions. You can buy tokens for easy fatalities. And as they aren't really affecting the competition itself, and they are not very difficult to perform by yourself, it's just a minor thing for me. But it's still a microtransaction, so just in the name of my principles, I deduct 1 point. Then there are packs of skins. Again, they don't change anything in the gameplay, but I think that they should be either just a little download pack, for example inside a patch, or an unlockable content in the crypt. Each skin pack is $4, so here goes another point. Then we come to additional characters. There are 5 of them, but if you bought a game new, you get Goro for free. But all 5 of them are $5 each. Or the additional 4 of them are $8 each if you buy them in their bundles with mentioned skin packs. But that would only cover 4 of the skin packs, so you'd still be missing 3 of them. You're near the end now, but there's more. For $20 you can unlock all the items in the crypt. Another microtransaction, another point down. And for $30 you can get yourself a season pass, which contains 4 characters, so you'd still have to get Goro separately. And you don't get all the skin packs either, at least according to descriptions on PSN. And no, the season pass doesn't contain the crypt unlocks. Okay, I admit that there is also some content that you can download free of charge. These are 2 packs of classic fatalities and 1 skin for Scorpion. But the total for all DLCs, even when you buy them at the discounted price of the season pass, still gets really close to $60, the base price of the game. And another thing worth mentioning is that after 4 months of delays and waiting, publisher decided to cancel promised versions for past-gen consoles. It might be for the best, especially looking at last year's Shadow of Mordor, but then again, they could have never announced it in the first place. That, alongside with pricing and needless overcomplication of the packs, forces me to rate the business side of this game at just 4 points out of 10. So as you can see, Mortal Kombat X is a pretty decent game, with good design and technicalities. That means the developers did their job quite well, but then the publisher came along with their accountants and spreadsheets, bringing the total score down to just 20 points out of 30. I really enjoyed this game, and if you play on a current gen console, it's a good successor to the previous one. Just please, don't buy the DLCs. Maybe if only a handful of players do it, publishers will stop to try these methods of draining our wallets. If you're a PC player, I would probably stay with the previous one, at least until you can get Mortal Kombat X with a major discount. That's all for today. If you liked this review, please click like and subscribe. You can also follow Is It Patched on Facebook and subscribe to my Twitch channel, where I stream the games I'm about to review next. As always, thanks for watching, take care and keep waiting for patches.